So our final assignment was to build a wealth management agent, which involved basically thinking about all of the questions as a wealth manager I might want to address and what actions I might take to do those. So thinking of things like, what does my client look like? What is their current portfolio? What are their boundary conditions? What is the distribution that they'd like their funds to go in terms of stocks, in terms of cash? What, if any, limitations do they have on what types of investments they are willing to make and in what sectors? What I and my team ended up putting together was what I thought a beautiful wealth management agent, which has a report generated pulling things like 10K filings from Edgar, analyst reports from 3 different databases and cross-checking them before giving us any recommendations, and then also having a live chatbot feature such that once the client profile was updated and the AI suggested updates were projected, I could then challenge things that were in the report. Why didn't you invest in these particular firms that were in this particular analyst's recommendation? It was very interesting to produce, as well as get the formatting of the reports done, all of the features on the interactive user interface screen. But in the end, it is more than I would have otherwise imagined I could do with this type of artificial intelligence programming. And something that I think would be tremendously useful for anybody going into that field, as well as for myself thinking about my own portfolio as a personal investor. So starting the course, I basically was using AI to help draft emails, edit any kind of documents that I had been working on, or really think about, better ways of phrasing something or maybe structuring a PowerPoint. Now completing this class, I have learned so much of the power of different models, also what different models are even available, what agents can be used, what models are available open source, what subscriptions we can access, and then what really kind of models are best for different activities. We've used Claude, and a lot of the skills that I've developed through using that kind of over the course of the semester or term have been things like, if I wanted to create a financial model, I will do that one time. And so the next time I want to do a 2-stage DCF model that I can, make projections and then use a terminal value, I don't have to reproduce everything. I can just pull it from my markdown file, say, go back, use this, and now alter basically what the purpose of my new discounted cash flow model might be. AI is going to be used whether folks will like it or not. I think that is perhaps, the big lesson that most are teaching and something that everyone is kind of learning along the way. I think that's one of the big things we have learned, and one of the important things of having courses like this is to really appreciate the skills that can be deployed, know how to deploy those skills so we're not behind the curve, but then also enable us to kind of learn the bigger picture things of, what were the insights after we have done those assignments. If you don't have the power or the knowledge to now know how to deploy those in an expedited way, you'll be behind the curve relative to your peers, relative to other firms that are competitors. And that's where I think the power of kind of learning this through the MBA program is really going to help students as they go out into their next roles.